Hi, I'm Dr. Sean Cooney, and I just bought a WaterPik water flosser, the Aquarius Professional model, and thought I'd do a quick unboxing, show you what it is. It's one of my favorite dental tools, one that I use all the time, and there's a lot of neat stuff about this one. My old one broke, so I got this one. So let's open it up. All right, so instructions, and I'll do a video in the future about how to use one of these the proper way. But there are also some videos from the manufacturer. I use it slightly differently, just because I have a different purpose. So here it is. Let's see what else is in here. A manual. So pretty simple. All right, so it's like we've got all our tips right here. Open those up. The tag that I just took off, that was important. I'll go over it later. All right, so we've got all our tips here. 1, 2, 3 of the same kind of tips with different colors. I don't know if it picks up, but this one's gray, this one's white, this one's black, but they're all the same exact tip. This is just so different members of your family can use them and have their own tip. So put those aside. There are several other. There's a toothbrush head. There is the head for gum disease. And then there are 2 heads with little brushes on them right here. This one specifically is for bridges. This one's the orthodontic one, so it does braces. And you can get around your brackets pretty easily with that. So basically what we've got is we've got a tank that holds, take it off here, holds about 21 ounces or just over 600 milliliters. And that's usually enough for, 21 ounces is what? Almost 3 cups. So, that's enough to get through. In the way I do it, it's enough to get through most of it, and I usually end up having to put a little bit more. Just all depends on how fast I move, whether I turn off the machine when I switch from one area to another, or whether I let the water run out. So we've got that. Here's the handle with a nice long cord. Try to get that in the shot. On the handle, there are, I want to put on just the black tip. So there's this little silver button on the side right here. The silver button is the release for the tip. So you just put the tip in, click in place. When you want to take it out, you push that up. This swivels 360 degrees. It's on like a little click gear mechanism so that it doesn't swivel when it's not supposed to. My old model swiveled when it wasn't supposed to, and it was a pain in the rear end, because every time I would try to get back into a hard to reach spot where my cheek was pushing against it, it would always turn and it would just make a big mess. That might also be a reason why I use a little bit more water than the average. And then of course, there's the on-off button right there. So there's actually 2 on-off buttons. There's the one on the actual unit itself that turns the pump on so that it's pumping out. It'll pump out pulses of water. I'm not going to do it here just because it's a mess. You kind of have to be around a sink to do that. But so it'll be pulsing out of this, and then you can turn it off at the handle so that the pulse or the motor's still running, but the pulse is not coming out. Nice little holder for it. Then there is the dial. So when you turn this, there's a little dot right on the dial there. You can't really see it from this angle, but it's there. And it goes from 1 all the way up to 10. And when I told you I would tell you about it later, pretty much all the rest of these you can use from 1 to 10, just whatever you feel comfortable. But the gum disease tip, the gum tip, this, there's such a bottleneck in there that you'll really not get much more than 2 or 3 out of it before you start to damage the tip. Just because water at 10, water's not going to come out of this. At a 10, it's going to still come out of it as a 2 or a 3. So you want to keep this down around the 1 or 2, which is what that little tag said. Use this around 2. That's as much power as you'll get out of it anyway, so there's no need to go higher than that. But the rest of these you can use it whatever you want. There's also a secondary button here, which has a floss and then has a massage. I have absolutely no idea what those do because I'm opening this for the first time right now. So I'll test those out and I'll post those in my how-to video that we do here sometime in the future. So this is my WaterPik water flosser, Aquarius Professional. I've got it in black, it comes in blue, it comes in purple, it comes in white. So that's what we've got. Can't wait to go start using it. And have a great day.